Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. Pretty unique day. Want to know why? Because today, streamed. Today, I premiered a brand new show, and it was not on YouTube. Well, so let's talk. Today, we had a fun level 1 podcast in the morning, and if you haven't seen it yet, there was a lot of stuff that went on the podcast, including multiple different news stories about various different things, including Naughty Dog, Xbox, just a plethora of stuff. Really interesting stuff. I hope that you'll give it a look. I'm going to try to take some clips out of the podcast. However, I'm going to be very busy clipping because of the show that I did tonight, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But yeah, lots of news that came tonight that came out today from the show. I hope you'll watch the show for a big, giant gaming news update. Then on the first gameplay stream today, it was Dragon Age, the Veilguard continuing on. And basically this time, we got out of the introductory part of the game. The game opened up a bit and gave us options of the first 3 major missions that we wanted to complete. We actually went through and did one of them, recruiting a brand new character who's an assassin, but also controls a demon, or the demon controls him. It's not really clear. Pretty fun. And to be honest, basically attendance was terrible. All right, just not gonna lie. I think on YouTube I had 150 viewers, and on Kick I had like 40. So I couldn't even bring in 200 viewers. However, support was great. We had people supporting, and by the way, not just the usual suspects. We had a couple people who came by and said, "Hey, thanks for playing these kind of games, despite the fact they don't get a lot of views," and actually a giant tip. So basically, it went really well in that regard. But the thing is, attendance is really dwindling on this playthrough. I know for a fact the videos aren't getting many views either on YouTube. So already 7 hours in, seeing big diminishment in interest. I'm curious if we're going to keep it in the rotation. I'm thinking we would do another one, but I am nervous that if this continues, maybe we're not going to continue the streak, and it might end because people aren't interested in the game. I'm thinking about what happened with Metaphor when I loved it, played 12 hours of it, but I couldn't get people to come back to watch. I just think that these RPGs, sadly, are just not doing very well these days. And there's nothing I can really do about it. It seems like my audience isn't really into the RPG stuff. You know what I mean? So anyway, still a good stream. Support was good. And then on the late stream tonight, it was time for the premiere of DSPolitics exclusively on Kick. Ladies and gentlemen, I said I'll probably get 200 viewers. I got over 1,000 viewers, even with 5 to 6 different trolls restreaming me. My views on the stream beat all of them. That's awesome. So thank you to those who were there, and it made it a great show. I covered 3 major topics. In addition, we had a little bit of Q&A at the end, and it went really smoothly. People were saying the stream quality was good, no technical issues whatsoever. Covered, I was able to play a bunch of clips and just jumped around, and just a good show. You can watch the show in its entirety right now if you want to watch the raw video over on my Kick channel, DSPGaming Reel. But maybe you want something more digestible. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to make highlight clips of the show over the course of this week. I'll probably make 1 or 2 highlights tonight and probably make more over the week. And those will be going live on DSP React, my React channel on YouTube, pretty much nightly. All right. So I'll find the best clips. I'll zip around there. I'll try to find the best highlights. And it'll be a good one for those who weren't there for the show but just want to see these kind of highlights. Okay. So went well supported. People like the show. And immediately they're like, well, how can we be a part of the show? How are you going to pick your topics for future weeks? And I explained, if you become a submissions tier member on the DSP Reacts channel, I'm going to put up a thread once a week, much like how I was doing with the old DSP versus the Internet show. And that thread is going to be topics, political topics. You can post up videos, you can post up articles, things for me to look through and choose as objects of discussion for me to do on the show the next week. And I'm not saying that I'm guaranteed to do any of them, but it'll be what I will draw upon to try to find out what the hot topics are with the people, what you guys want me to discuss. Well, I'll also be following politics generally myself to get, interesting, selections and situations. So it's good. It's going to be a good show, I think. The first episode did incredibly well, was well received. People really liked it. Of course, a couple of people got upset, and then they were idiots because they couldn't justify what they were saying because they're just dunces. It was a good show. Overall, it really was. So the bottom line is thank you to those who showed up and enjoyed. I hope that you'll join me next week. I'm going to try to do it around the same time next week, probably Thursday night. We'll see how it goes. I certainly hope that you guys will consider becoming members of the submissions tier on DSP React so you can submit your suggestions for the show. And check out the clips as they go live over the week. Okay? All right. Tomorrow, my final consecutive streaming day of the week. Guess what? It's time for games. We're going to have a fun podcast in the morning. The conclusion of Life is Strange Double Exposure on the first stream. When we hit the goal on that stream, I'm going to order the Taco Bell Decades menu, and we're going to have a special DSP Tries It after the stream ends. And then on the late stream, it's the return of Friday Night Fights. I think I'm probably going to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because I haven't got to play that in a long time now, and I'd like to jump back into that collection. If I can't find people to play, then I probably can't. Hopefully, the people are still playing that game. You know, fallback is we just go play some Street Fighter 6, which is also perfectly viable if we want to do that. All right? So a great streaming day to end the week. Let's keep the streak going, get the reward tomorrow. We also got to brainstorm what the reward should be for next week. We'll start talking about that tomorrow because I know people already had some ideas. And we'll go from there. Everyone have a good night. I had a great time with you today. Safe in America, folks. Crazy place out there. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.